It happens here, our weekly series exploring cities and towns all across our area.
And today we head to Dedham to see a piece of history, the oldest wood frame house on the continent. It happens here, Dedham, home to the first taxpayer-funded public schools and the infamous trial of Sacco and Vanzetti. It was incorporated in 1636 when Watertown became too crowded and a group left to start their own settlement. And one of the most prominent of those settlers was Jonathan Fairbanks, who built this house in 1637. Why is it so important that this house be preserved?
This is the oldest timber frame house in North America. It is an absolute gem of American history.
Stuart Christie is the senior docent of this incredible piece of architecture. It just reopened to the public, and Stuart, let's take the tour, gave us an inside look.
We're going to go over here to the right, and again, watch your head.
The first thing you notice is how cramped it is. After all, the average man at the time was around 5'7", and
they wanted the ceilings lower to keep the heat at the level where the people were.
This was the living room, and it had an odd feature in it. This is where the bed was?
Yes, exactly. Beds were not a common commodity. A lot of people were actually sleeping on pallets on the floor. So that if you had a bed, it was a sign that you had made it.
But life here was not all bed in the living room luxury. The summers would have been brutal. The windows couldn't open, the fires had to burn nonstop, and linen production left a certain aroma.
They had to just soak the cloth in urine to get the dye to adhere. So you've got that going through the house.
Historians have also found evidence of religious superstition in this house.
These shoes, which were well worn and very stinky, were thrown inside the wall. The idea behind this is that these shoes would protect the house from evil spirits.
These look like they might attract evil spirits. But bad luck did eventually find the Fairbanks when in 1801, Jason Fairbanks was hanged for murder, plunging the family into legal debt and eventually leaving this house to history. And there is just so much more to explore there. The way they use dendrochronology to figure out when the house was built. They have the tools that they use there, the garden that they grew. You could just spend hours learning at this place. It's fascinating.
And it just looks so cool. It is just
it really
such an interesting thing. All right.